Greetings, beautiful. It is such a pleasure to be with you again. Thank you for listening. Thank you for showing up and sharing your energy with me. It is an honor and a pleasure to be able to record these podcasts for you. I was sitting here this morning and just after feeding my birds, I have so many birds. By the way, in case you didn't know, the angels show up as birds quite often. And some of you may even have visits from a loved one that appear as a bird. But my birds are just a whole huge flock of angels, I have no doubt. This morning I had probably 8 to 10 crows, probably about 30 blackbirds. Some have a little orange, not crest, like an orange tuft of feathers in their wings. Some have red. Some have just kind of an iridescent blue head. I had blue jays, a multitude of blue jays this morning. I had a cardinal sitting on the fence, trying to, and of course the doves, the mourning doves. Now I have other little birds that show up. This morning it was just so many different kinds, and that's on top of probably the 20 to 30 squirrels that live around my house. So Michael and I feed the birds. We feed them birdseed, but I order peanuts for the squirrels, which have now spread to the crows and the blackbirds and the bluebirds, and it's okay, the blue jays. They all love the peanuts. But this morning I was peering out, and it honestly brings me so much joy when I go out and I set up the peanuts. Sometimes I set them along my little banister for the squirrels to come get, and then I throw some out into the driveway and in the yard so that all the animals can partake. We usually have chipmunks too, but they're actually in hibernation. I had to look that up. I did not know that they hibernated, but I wondered why I hadn't seen them lately. So I'm sure they will be up and out of their burrow soon as spring begins to appear here in Pennsylvania. But as I was looking out and just smiling and feeling the joy in my heart as I'm watching these little critters, all my feathered friends, eat their goodies, I noticed one of the doves. And so there's one mourning dove. If you don't know what a mourning dove is, go ahead and look it up. It's like a grayish colored dove, and they coo. It's a beautiful sound. And I have this one dove that I cannot think of a time that that dove has not been out there. That dove will stay through thick and thin, through any storms. I can look out and it's all like hunkered down in a branch of a bare tree, just sitting there, keeping warm, I guess. So this dove, I've always known that this dove shows up as Mother Mary. So Mother Mary coming as the dove, and also Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin also appears as a cardinal at times at my house. But either one of these amazing, beautiful beings or ascended masters, if you don't know what they are, the ascended masters are souls who lived on earth that are helping us from above. They're beings that lived in human form and continue to help us. But the either way that Kuan Yin or Mother Mary show up, this dove always comes and is always cooing, or like I said, just trying to stay warm. I know it's always my message of nurture yourself more, love yourself more, be at peace with yourself more, forgive yourself, love yourself, nurture yourself. And so this morning, as I'm noticing that dove, it just dawned on me. I was like, oh my God, you have never left. You've stayed by my side, like here at this house. You've stayed by my side through thick and thin, through this massive winter full of storms that we've had and through just rainstorms. There you are. So I thought, and it dawned on me about this dove after I had decided, or felt not even decided, I just got guidance that I wanted to start the week by pulling a card from the Kuan Yin Oracle deck that is created by Alana Fairchild. And you will be able to find that deck on my website under shop if you want to ever take a look at it. It's one of my favorite decks. So this morning I was trying to think of, how am I going to start the week? What am I going to do? Show me the way, God, universe. And thought, let's start the week with Kuan Yin, with some guidance from Kuan Yin. And then the dove, noticing the dove and having that aha moment. So I want you to know that when those doves appear, whether it's through social media, you see it on a commercial, or physically in your space, your yard, or around your place, there's so much love and support and just complete admiration of you. They are reminding us to take super, super good care of ourselves. But, that doesn't just mean, like I've said many times, take Epsom salt baths and do yoga or meditate or color, whatever it is that feeds your soul, what brings you to that peaceful, beautiful state. It's not just that. It's not just those. It is truly loving yourself. Loving yourself. You have to let yourself off the hook. And why don't we start today? Just let yourself off the hook of all the things that you think you've done wrong, or the people you think you've hurt. Because yes, we go through life and we feel like we've been scorned or hurt, but man, all too often it's the other way around. We are the ones that are carrying the blame or the guilt. And it's not just this lifetime, it's past lifetimes, I'm here to tell you. I had a big awakening yesterday while talking with my mentor. I actually had a reading with her. I get them periodically. It's been a very long time, but I just recently just felt like it was time to get some validation, because perhaps she would get some things that would validate all of the stuff that I'm getting for myself, and truly that is what happened, which helps. Some people get readings with me, and then what I tell them in the reading, it's everything, they're just blown away because it's everything they thought was going to happen. They just wanted validation. So during this reading, we were talking about the retreat here in the mountains of Northeast Pennsylvania that I am manifesting. She's always known that I've had this retreat dream, but she did not know anything about the mountain that I have spoken about, Elk Mountain. If you haven't listened to the podcast yet, titled, I think it's, I think it's like the day God called me to the mountain, or something like that. Something about God calling me to the mountain. I was called to do a 21-day meditation with God on the mountain, and it was amazing. So she didn't know anything about this mountain, but that is the first thing that came up in the reading, that she saw me at the base of this mountain, and that there's just a missing piece, that there was something, there was actually, I don't know that she used the word block, I think she said gap, I don't know, there was a gap between me and the mountain, between me getting to that final place on the mountain with the retreat. So we tuned in, she did, and found out there was, she started asking me, are you planning on scheduling some retreats, like elsewhere, traveling, like, and I said, yes, I have. I'm planning to do a retreat in Sedona, Arizona, and I have some other places that are on my radar. And she said, well, what are you waiting for? Now, as we're talking about this, my heart starts racing. She can feel it. That often happens when I'm working with people too. But she goes, whew, your heart's starting to race. And I go, I know. I don't know why it's bringing me anxiety to even talk about it. I said, I purchased this course with two amazing women who are my guides to help me create these retreats, just because I wanted an expert. So I always say proximity is power. So you get close to whoever it is that you admire, or the expert in that field, and you work with them. That's a no-brainer. Whatever it takes, however close you can get to them, whether it's in a group or one-on-one, you work with them. You don't just read their book. listen to their podcast. You actually work with, if you want to do what they're doing, you need to, work with them. So I hired these two amazing women and started the course, did the first module, and I froze. I kind of froze. I just stopped. And that was, oh gosh, last year maybe. I didn't know why. I just started getting busy with other things. So this came up yesterday in my reading with Jackie. And she said, let's ask what this is about. Why are you getting this anxiety or your heart racing? Just even with the mention of you running retreats in different places. And I'm taking a big breath now because it actually, it brought back that memory of my heart racing yesterday. And so she said, oh my God, I see they're showing me people perishing. So I can't even remember exact words actually, but it was something along the lines of, I see you with a group of people. Now she stopped there, like right around there. And at that moment it popped into my head like a movie. Oh, and it's 11:11 on my clock right now. How about that? Thanks for the wink, universe. I'm doing the work. I'm healing my shit. That's the universe saying, keep going. You got this. So as soon as she said, I see you with a group of people. And she goes, I hear you just yell, run. And I saw it. It started playing in my mind. And I saw a massacre. Well, I heard the word massacre. And I knew that the group had been massacred. And I had taken it on as my fault because I was the one that organized this group getting together in secret, which so many of us in past lives had to meet in secrecy because of our abilities. Thank God we don't have to do that now. But see, our soul will remember those times, which is what had happened. So as I purchased the course, started moving with that group and these two women and helping me create retreats, no wonder I stopped dead in my tracks. Like, nope. So your mind will start things like, I don't have time, or I'd rather be doing something else. I have too many things on my plate, when all along, it was the old story. That was my fault. So no wonder I would resist putting retreats together, right? Doesn't that make sense? So we did the work yesterday while I was with her, and we went back and met with all the souls there that were there that day. And there was, there's no time and space in universe time, in universe space. So there's no time and place or space. We can travel back and forth to anything. We can go back and meet with each other on a soul level at a lifetime and heal stuff. That's what I do with people with past life regression all the time. So we went back, and that whole group of people who perished, who were massacred, all were telling me, like surrounding me, saying, it is not your fault. Like, you are forgiven, but forgiven means you must forgive yourself. You did nothing wrong. You were only trying to help us and teach us and help us move up. So I have chills right now just saying that. I'm tingling everywhere. I feel that's all those souls around me, whether they're here on this earth plane right now or not, doesn't matter. Again, no limitations or boundaries when the soul is reaching a soul. So we did that, and I took this big deep breath, and I just felt like that. I just felt like, yes, I let it go. Now, there were other things that happened in this reading with her, and a little girl that was helping. Perhaps a little girl from my past who was a daughter or a little child I helped, who knows? We did not get clarity on that, and I didn't have to know that. So we got off the phone, and I was like, that's it. I'm going to start scheduling these retreats now because I have people asking for them, and I know people want them, but now I understood why I was not able to. So last night I was sitting on the couch and I was pulling cards for myself just for fun. I do it all the time, just for fun. I love it. I love to pull cards from different decks, and I pulled cards from one of my fairy decks, and there were 4 cards. Oh no, it wasn't my fairy decks. It was Archangel Gabriel. Gabriel's been helping me with a lot right now, with creativity, with communication, with writing, getting ready to write my next book, which is pretty much already written on paper and in my head. I just have to put it down, I just have to get it down. Same with my last book. It was already written. I just had to put it down on paper. So I was asking Gabriel for guidance and just anything, what do you want to say to me? And for life of me, I can't remember the two cards that I drew. Four cards for some reason. The first two, I don't know what they were, to be honest, but the third one was blocks lifted. The fourth one was retreat. And I was just giggling because you really can't make this shit up. So we did all that, and or I pulled the cards and I just like, yes, yes. So I have continued since yesterday to keep telling myself it was not your fault. It is not your fault. It's not your fault. It wasn't your fault that happened. And forgiving myself, whatever it takes. I've been using these affirmations and saying these things. Well, as I'm looking out at this dove this morning and realizing it's these beautiful beings, Kuan Yin, Mother Mary, which I believe was Kuan Yin right now. I think they take turns. That I was like, thank you. Like, you have never left my side on this entire journey, digging deep within my soul. You're always there. So I am pulling out Kuan Yin's Oracle deck because what a beautiful energy she is. Let's allow her to guide us for the week, what it is that we need to know the most. And so I'm just shuffling the cards, and I just shuffle until I feel like it's time to stop. By the way, if you do this for yourself, if a card ever flies out, you definitely want to pick that up and read it. Like, that's a message for you. So if a card flies out, make sure you see what the message is. All right, so just shuffling and asking Kuan Yin, what is it that we all need to know? And it doesn't matter when you listen to this, if it's the beginning of the week or a year from now, whenever you listen to this. It's the message that you need to hear. That's how the universe works. You are getting your message when you're supposed to get your message. Okay, so I just pulled a card, and I'll be honest, I've never gotten this one, and it's beautiful. I've never even seen this one. It's Sweeping Sister Willow. And it's beautiful Kuan Yin sitting there with an instrument. It's a stringed instrument that I honestly have never seen. Maybe it'll tell us what it is when I read the meaning of this message. So it's number 31 in this deck. So Sweeping Sister Willow. Let's see what Kuan Yin has to say today. Sweeping Sister Willow gently brings you healing for forgiveness and release of old pain now. For real. Holy cow. Like, you cannot make this up. Oh my God. All right. I'm telling you, peeps, if this does not make you a believer. Okay, I just told you the story about forgiveness and old pains, and this is the first sentence. Okay, here we go. Sweeping Sister Willow gently brings you healing for forgiveness and release of old pain now. Let her branches gracefully sweep any sadness and pain from your heart and soul. Your time for greater inner freedom is dawning, and the cleansing sadness and healing of forgiveness is the pathway to that greater freedom now. You deserve this freedom, and you are swiftly becoming ready to gift it to yourself with the help of Kuan Yin. Forgiveness is a way to raise your vibration by shedding old energies that drain you and prevent you from having all your power available to you now. It is a chance to free yourself from suffering and empower yourself. Sweeping Sister Willow guides you to forgive others and yourself abundantly and freely now. You may be very aware of your own need for forgiveness, or this may come as a surprise to you, in which case, be open to hearing the truth of who or what needs to be forgiven and released from Willow Mother, from deep within your own heart. I mean, this rings so true for me, and probably many of you, because I'm going to be honest, like the past few weeks, I keep pulling the forgiveness card out of all these decks, and I didn't understand myself. I didn't understand what it was about. I kept asking to be shown, show me what this is about, and I wouldn't get anything. But this is how past lives can work. I just want to point this out and why it's so important to work with someone who does past life regression. Because that was so painful for me that I had taken on that I had caused that, because I called this group to come meet with me in the woods, which I saw and my mentor saw, secretively, because we were doing our work, I invited them, so let's meet this night, and it was an ambush. So I took it on that it was my fault. And I carried that from who knows how many lifetimes, that it was my fault those people perished. And so that pain that I had taken on, that pain will block us seeing what happened. So I had no clue that that had happened. I've seen some other pretty awful past lives. Like they, not awful, they ended awfully, but so, I know that's a word. They ended terribly, awfully. I'm not sure. Anyway, so I just wanted to point that out. All right, so let's keep moving with the message. So, this pain may be a small incident from when you were a child or a significant experience that you have just put to one side in an effort to carry on with your life. Oh boy, me. This approach has been admirable, and yet there is always a time to confront, forgive, and move on. Not just in mind, but genuinely in the body. This oracle indicates that you are in process of forgiving others, and that you also need to remember to forgive yourself for being human and needing to learn and grow just like everyone else. You do not have to be perfect, and sometimes it is in forgiving ourselves that we become most able to forgive others too. I have definitely found this to be true. We suffer less from harsh judgments, which do not feel good for our heart and drain our soul forces. Instead, we experience more kindness, sweet nurturing from sweeping Sister Willow, Kuan Yin, in her form of forgiveness and healing, and we may enjoy more peace of mind. Forgiveness is a powerful spiritual practice that helps you disconnect your energetic circuits from people, places, situations, and memories that can drain your power from the present moment and slow down your spiritual growth and the physical manifestation of your heart's desire and soul purpose. Bingo. That makes sense too, right? I said that my mentor saw a gap between myself and the mountain, and it was this. I had to forgive myself. I had to let myself off the hook. It wasn't my fault. At present, you are growing spiritually, and you need your power in the present moment to fuel your process. Like surfing a wave, you are about to be lifted, so forgive with sincerity and wisdom. And know that this doesn't mean you are permitting future abuse. It means you are ready to have your power in the present moment, and that you have compassion and allow the universe to direct the learning of every being on this planet. You let go of thoughts of revenge, and you free yourself from the past once and for all. So let's go ahead. I'm going to read this healing from Kuan Yin. So whether you're driving or sitting comfortably at home, this is going to work however you do it. Just remember, intention is everything. If you're able to, you can close your eyes. But I want you to begin to see, you can see in your mind's eye perhaps, sense or feel that you are within your heart chakra. Imagine this as a beautiful space with a body of quiet, reflective water and masses of sweeping willow trees dipping over the water's edge. In this beautiful space within your heart, you become aware of Kuan Yin sitting near the largest willow tree, her hair and robes gently swept in a light breeze. As she smiles at you and raises her hands in healing mudra, a soft breeze of healing energy flows into your heart, helping you to open and release. Allow her energy to flow through your heart and become aware of cords of energy extending from your heart, connecting to people, places, things, and memories from this and other lifetimes. Say aloud, I now accept the loving assistance of Kuan Yin as I release any cord or attachment that is draining my energy. To all those with whom I have unfinished business, through all space and time, I now declare, I acknowledge you are a soul, learning just as I am, and I forgive you. If I have hurt you in any way, please forgive me. I now choose to free you and free myself from the past. May we all be blessed with Kuan Yin's mercy and grace, with the kind healing power of sweeping Sister Willow. So be it. Now visualize or intend that Kuan Yin's light in your heart becomes like a white fire of energy, burning away any cords or attachments that can now be released. Visualize or intend that the white fire in your heart flows down to your navel and infuses it with power, energy, and vitality. Imagine cords snapping back into your energy field, no longer leaking your power out of your aura. Put your hand on your heart. Breathe deeply in and out. Feel the peacefulness of sweeping Sister Willow in your heart. Beloved Kuan Yin, sweeping Sister Willow, with gracefulness and surrender into love. You forgave great transgressions against you because you chose wisdom and spiritual growth. You did not hide your anger. You simply chose to let it go and find peace and compassion in your heart. You were free to ascend into bliss, but you chose to stay and help us. Please bless me that I may draw upon your own wisdom and spiritual strength to forgive and empower myself now. I allow you, sweeping Sister Willow, to gently wash my heart clean. And I am eternally grateful for you, Kuan Yin. Just take a deep breath and just allowing all the old to be washed away now. It can be that easy. What a beautiful message from Kuan Yin. And as I like to say, you really can't make this stuff up. My message of the dove and of my past life and what I needed to release, and that I needed to forgive myself, and then pulling the exact perfect card to continue with that guidance. Take a deep breath. It's time to let yourself off the hook. It's time to forgive. It's time to let things go. It's time to allow the magic and the miracles to come rolling in every single moment of the day. Thank you again for listening to my podcast. If you get a moment, I need to ask a big favor. Would you please rate and review my podcast? Give me some stars. Let people know it's worth listening to. And feel free to hop on my website anytime, juliatreat.com. I have lots of different programs and coaching programs. My spiritual boot camp is changing lives. I'm getting messages every single day. In fact, here's one I just got. I just got this yesterday from someone who took my spiritual boot camp. By the way, spiritual boot camp is only $97. The value of spiritual boot camp I have on there is $555, but I believe it's worth a lot more because of all of the testimonials I receive. But keep in mind, with spiritual boot camp, you also get my journey of the soul, journey to the soul. I just totally went blank on journey to the soul, journey of the soul. It is a program to help you with past life regression on your own. It will also take you forward. It will help you balance and cleanse your chakras. it will, I mean, it's amazing. People say that's amazing as well, but that is included in boot camp for just the $97. And that alone is $297. So it's almost, what is it? Almost $1,000 worth of content for 97 bucks. But this is the testimonial I just got. Julia Treat, if I live a million lifetimes, I could never thank you enough for giving me the tools for healing and manifesting. There are no words for how much I have healed in many different ways, but also for the abundance of miracles around me because of my healing. Much love to you, my friend. It's a beautiful message from my friend. She sent it to me on Facebook, or she actually posted it in our private group, the Clairvoyant Collective, which is the group that you will get in if you come into Spiritual Boot Camp. So I can't wait to connect with you again. I will meet you here tomorrow. Oh, and before I forget, real quick, a couple of new things in case you haven't heard. My colleague and partner, Jessica Drew, she is an artist, an illustrator, an author, and she and I have started the Rainbow Crew. We have a YouTube channel called The Rainbow Crew. We have a Facebook page called The Rainbow Crew, so you can find us either places. Come join us. It's for you and your munchkins. We're here to help your children on their journey and also help you as you support your very special little kiddos. All right, God bless you. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.